Hey guys, what's going on? If you're new here, welcome. My name is BrittanyNichole and I got sucked in to the Target vortex this weekend, okay? I don't know what they pump into their stores, but you can never walk in there and only get what you came in there for, right? So I went in for 3 things like adult purchases. You know what I mean? And I don't mean, like, let me be clear here, I don't mean like adult purchases. I don't even think you go to Target for that, but let's not let our mind get into the gutter, or maybe my mind is in the gutter. Whatever. I went in for like home storage things and I ended up with like 50 things that I didn't need. However, I did pick up one thing, which is this e.l.f. metallic flare highlighter. This really caught my eye. I thought it looked gorgeous and it inspired me to get into my affordable makeup and create a look for you guys today. So I say affordable strategically here because I am using some ColourPop, I'm using some Believe Beauty. So those are drugstore price, but you technically can't get them at the drugstore. So if I do refer to drugstore, you guys know what I mean. But this is the look we came up with, which I love. I think it's super pretty. I love the purple eye with the warm tone lip. You guys will see I do struggle a little bit getting this eye look here. And I just wanted to keep that in the video and post it because I struggle with things too. I know a lot of us turn to YouTube and just think that everyone's an expert, but everyone struggles, okay? Everyone has an off day, and I struggled with some of this eyeshadow and blending it, and I want you guys to see that. So if you are interested in hanging out for a while, creating this super bomb, affordable look, go ahead and grab a snack and keep watching. And yes, I strategically placed my hair like this because my eye is watering like crazy. All right, you guys, you know the deal with me. I've already primed my face. I like to prime about 10-15 minutes before I go in with foundation so the primer really does its job. Today, I went in with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hydrating Hyaluronic Acid Primer. Try to say that 10 times fast. I put this all over the face. I've been loving this primer so much. It's a nice lotiony consistency and just provides a beautiful hydrating base for your foundation. Really, really recommend this stuff. I think it's around $10. And then in my visible pore area, which is just right here, I went in with a touch of the Catrice Goodbye Pores. This is a Poreless Blur Primer from Catrice. This is also really good and somewhere around $5. So love both of those primers, and now we are ready to go into foundation. So today I am using the NYX Born to Glow Naturally Radiant Foundation in Nude. This is such a great drugstore foundation. The coverage is beautiful. It almost goes on full coverage when you go in with a brush right away. For some, it might be medium. For me, I consider it kind of a full coverage foundation, but I've just been loving how this makes my skin look. So if you don't want such a like full coverage foundation, just go in with a little bit and then work your way up, which is what I'm gonna do as I drop things all over the place. So I am using my Sigma Flat Kabuki F80. I love Sigma brushes. They are so good. I have a discount code with them. Wish I had a cone with them, like a ice cream cone or something like that. But I really, really, really like this, especially with this foundation. See how full coverage that is? And going in with a brush really just kind of intensifies that. But anyway, if you guys want to use a code for Sigma, it's just BrittanyNichole. I will leave that down below if you are interested. The F80 is by far my absolute favorite foundation brush. Almost just had a panic attack because I thought I got foundation on my cat, who is black. His name is Stanley. This is Stanley. He sits right in front of me while I film. I should take a picture of it one day because he like puts his paws like that. He's so cute, but I didn't. It's still on the back of my hand. So I always take just a touch of foundation on the back of my hand before I go in with my sponge. After I use a brush, I always go in with a sponge. This is the AOA Studio Paw Paw Sponge. This sponge is $1.55 and absolutely amazing. So it's damp and I just kind of dab right into that product. So there's a little bit of a barrier before I go in and kind of apply more where it's needed. That way the sponge isn't just gonna absorb all of the product. All right, so next up we have concealer. This is the Milani Conceal and Perfect in Light Natural. I remember loving this when I used it, and I was just talking to one of you guys about how much we love the Too Faced Born This Way concealer, and she said this was a dupe. And I don't remember thinking that, but now that she said that, I'm gonna kind of keep that in mind as I use it. I don't go in with a lot of product. I like that this kind of has a little bit of a pinker tint, undertone and tint to it, because I kind of have some heavy, not heavy, I shouldn't say heavy, but I can definitely see some purple and some blue under my eyes. George has been waking me up in the middle of the night to take him out for some reason. He doesn't normally do that. He does it every once in a while, but I think his like bathroom schedule is a little bit off right now. So I have just not been able to sleep when I come back in, and God, this is so beautiful. This is really, really a nice drugstore. I mean, you saw how fast that blended out, and it's perfect. It's a nice medium coverage. I think I can definitely see this being a dupe for the Too Faced. I think the Too Faced is a little more hydrating, and Too Faced tends to have a little bit more of like a yellow undertone to their products, but this is beautiful. But anyway, George typically doesn't make me take him out like that, and when I go outside and have to take him out in the middle of the night, I'm on high alert, so I just can't sleep when I get back in. I've just been like thinking about things, so the struggle is real with my under eyes right now, but that is really, really beautiful. I'm so happy you mentioned that. Thank you for reminding me how much I love this. Before the foundation completely sets down, I grabbed my Flower Beauty Blush Balm. This is in Bubbly. This is what they look like. These are at Ulta if you didn't want to purchase them online, or if you didn't have a Walmart around you like me. And I remember loving these. They're really nice and natural. There we go. Couldn't get it out for a second. I remember loving these, and I haven't used it for a long time, so I'm just kind of curious if I'm gonna like this. So I want to go in with this before everything sets down. So I'm just gonna go in with my sponge. And I know that looks intense, but they really shear out when you blend them. So I'm gonna use the top to kind of apply, and then the butt of the sponge to blend. I've been dying. I think I have a hair on there. I can feel it. It's definitely a Stanley hair. Anyway, I've been dying for the Michelle Phan, the M Cosmetics serum blushes. I just haven't purchased it yet. That's on my list of makeup wants, but this is a nice kind of like same type of deal, you know, cream blush. I think hers might be a little more sheer, but yeah, that is really pretty. And you can just kind of like build it up. All right, so that is the blush. I think it looks so pretty. It's so hydrating. I do want to kick it up a little bit though. So I am going to go in with the Paradise Enchanted blush in Just Curious. This is a lot more peachy than the bubbly color. So I think it'll give me that really pretty peachy pink shade that I typically go for. So these are so pigmented. So make sure you tap off any excess if you're going in with this. So I'm just going to kind of layer right on top. Can you see the glow though that blush is giving me? Those Flower Beauty blushes are just beautiful. This is weird for me because normally I go in, by the way, I always tap over my blush and my bronzer with my sponge. It's not very wet at all. It's just slightly damp, so it's not going to leave any kind of mark, but I just think this makes it kind of look more like one with the skin. But I always go in with my bronzer before my blush. I don't know why I grabbed my blush first. Yes, I do know, because I was going in with cream on cream. But now I'm going to go in with my bronzer. This is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Bronze It in 01. This is such a good bronzer. It's definitely going in my favorites for drugstore from the year. It's just the best tone for my skin personally, and I am more on the fair side, so check this out. It just has the most beautiful sheen to it. It's not glittery. When you look at this in store, it does look kind of glittery. It's not at all. It just has the most beautiful sheen. So we might have to go in with a little more blush after we do this, but we'll see. I don't want to be too bronzy today. So just taking that same brush that I was using, I'm not adding any product, I'm just using whatever is left. I'm just gonna. All right, so now the most exciting part, let's pop out this metallic flare highlighter from e.l.f. It's not quite as like creamy as I thought it was gonna be, but that looks so pretty. Maybe I have to just kind of like break through the first layer before it starts to kind of, you know, get a little more creamy. That happens sometimes. So I'm just gonna grab my Anastasia brush. This is the A23, and we're gonna highlight. Yeah, it's a little more dry than I thought it was gonna be, but the color itself is really, really pretty. Again, if you're fair, I think you will really like this. It's taking quite a bit of effort to kind of dig into there to get the pigment. I'll keep you updated as I use that. It might just be that first layer. I know with their like pearl highlight from back in the day, man, that was from back in the day that people were really excited about that. that kind of needed the first layer kind of like shed off before it got real creamy. So this might be the same, but the color is very pretty, like I said. I'm gonna pop off camera, work on these brows. I'm using the ColourPop Brow Boss in Taupe. I'm doing that pretty much on the inner corner. Inner corner, is that what that's called? Inner brow? What do we call this? The inner brow, I think. I don't know, whatever this is. From here to about here. And then on the outer area, I'm gonna go in with the Maybelline Brow Ultra Slim in medium brown. Why? Brown, brow. Two separate words. I always mix them up. I'm gonna go in with the medium brown ultra slim pencil from Maybelline on this area of the brow, so I kind of have a dimensional brow. I've been loving that. And then to set them, I'm gonna go in with the ColourPop Brow Boss gel. This is in light brown. I think that is my favorite brow combination ever. These two are so great together. At first, I thought that the Brow Boss was a little too hard of a formula for me, but I really like it for really kind of working the shape of the brow first and then going in and defining with the Maybelline. I love it. And I really like this brow set as well from ColourPop. So these came together in a set for like $9. So good. Check this out. I really like it. So what is up next? Let's go in with eyeshadow. To start, I'm just gonna take this NYX Milk. You guys, this was all the rage back in like 2007, 2008 for when I started YouTube and started getting into it. This was all the rage. Everyone used this as a primer. So I really want the purple to kind of stand out. So I'm gonna go in with this first. You do not need a lot of this, by the way. Like, that is more than enough. And I'm just gonna kind of work this all over the eye. All right, so just did a quick wash of the NYX pencil, and I'm gonna go in with Shell all over the lid. This is from the Profusion Infatuation palette. You can get these at like TJ Maxx and Target for just around $10. They're amazing. The pigment of these palettes is just stunning. Highly recommend checking these out if you haven't. I'm just gonna take a flat brush. This is just a craft store brush, and I'm gonna start to work Shell all over the lid. So you can see I kind of brought that up a little bit into the crease area. Because I have hooded eyes, I have to bring my shadow a little bit higher, but we're gonna blend that out. I'm just kind of building the shape. So I'm continuing the shadow up and out from my lower lash line as well, because we will want to connect that under the eye. I'm gonna go in with the same color under the eye as well. I'm taking this Sigma Practic Small Blend, and that's what I'm gonna use to blend the edges. I'm actually not loving that, so I'm gonna jump over to my MAC 217. I'm just wanting more of a pinched brush so it doesn't remove too much color from the lid, because you can see as I blend, it does kind of remove some color. All right, so I can't get that blend right, so I think I'm gonna dip into another shade in the palette. I'm gonna start with Personal, which is just kind of this like light pink, and taking that MAC 217, I'm just gonna kind of brush off any product that is still on the brush, and I'm gonna take Personal and I'm gonna run this along the edges just to kind of help with that blend. Just taking Shell again and kind of stippling on some more so I have a full opaque color. And then I'm just gonna grab any pencil brush. This is my MAC 219, and I'm gonna go in with Shell under the eyes. And I'm thinking we're gonna add some shimmer to the lid as well. With another even smaller pencil brush, this is a ColourPop E10. Again, I'm gonna take Personal, which is the shade we used to blend out the crease up there, and I'm just gonna run that right below Shell. Yeah, for some reason this just isn't blending as nice for me today. My lids are quite dry because the heat's been on in Chicago. I think that might have something to do with it. So if you ever struggle with this, throwing on a shimmer makes all the difference. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So we have this base, and then we'll have a purple shimmer over that. This is the BH Cosmetics Aurora Lights palette. Love this palette to death. It's beautiful. It's all these baked shadows and they are so pigmented. So I think I'm going to go in with Borealis right here. I think that's the prettiest. So it's definitely going to deepen the look a little bit. If you wanted to just go over it with like flashing or something like that, that could work as well. But I'm just going to take my finger, dip right into Borealis. Like that is so pigmented. It's crazy. And I can't decide it. Yeah, I think I'm just going to kind of stipple right over everything. I'm switching over to the craft brush just to kind of get up into the crease, and I'll clean up any fallout. Since I didn't set, I can just kind of wipe that away and then go in with more concealer if needed. And then just blending out these edges with Shell. And I think I'm going to do something a lot different here. I think I'm going to go in with flashing the shimmery kind of silver color, and I'm gonna really kind of work that on the inner corner with this Sigma Precision Firm Blender E42. Almost meeting that up into the crease area. All right, my camera just shut off, so I went ahead and cleaned up the fallout, and then I took a little bit of Kaleidoscope, which is a little more of a pinky shade, and I layered that right over flashing on the inner corner. I did spray that with a setting spray as well to kind of prevent fallout, but I'm gonna go ahead and even out the other eye. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how I feel about this. This is very, very different for me. I think once I have my lashes on, everything will come together, but I don't usually dip into the cool tone, so I just kind of wanted to challenge myself today anyway. So let me go ahead and even this eye out, and I will be right back here. All right, so I just want to show you guys as I'm going in to clean this up. So I just have a little Q-tip and a little bit of Bioderma. I just kind of do a little bit of that so it gets kind of wet, and just make sure it's not too wet on the back of my hand. And I'm just gonna go in here and kind of like touch over where any of that fallout went very lightly. Kind of went down there as well, and that'll pretty much pick everything up. And then I'm just gonna let that dry, and I'm gonna touch over it with my concealer. I'm not even using a damp sponge for this. I'm just going in with this ColourPop sponge. And then of course you'll want to take your pencil brush and just make sure you smoke that out and blend it right into the concealer so it doesn't look like there's a harsh line. So this is just the pencil brush that I was using Shell, the purple shade with, and I'm just touching that up. All right, so I don't know what happened here, but I don't think these blended as well as I remember for some reason. I feel like it's just a little patchy. We're gonna go ahead and roll with it. I really like both of those palettes. It might be the NYX Milk base that I applied under it. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm just gonna take a little bit of my Physicians Formula waterproof liner and really tightly line the lash line before we go in with lashes. All right, so I'm gonna pop off here, apply some of my Kiss Chiffon lashes. We'll see if that kind of rounds everything out. I might take a little bit of a black, just eyeshadow, and pop that on the lower lash line right under the waterline. I think I might go grab I don't know, we'll see. I'm gonna go look at my eyeliners and see what I come up with, and then we'll come back here, apply these lips, and we'll be done with this very purple all drugstore look. You know what, before I do that, I'm gonna grab a little bit of Nimbus here on my finger and see if that helps with this blending. I think that helped kind of distract from it a little bit, so that's good. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm happy I added that because I felt like it was just, something was missing, and I feel like that really did help, and it kind of helped tie in the like really bright inner corner as well. So I'm gonna go pop off here, apply lashes, and I will be right back. All right, you guys, lashes are on and this look is complete. So I am starting to get super watery on this eye, so I'm kind of hiding the fact that my mascara is transferring a little bit where I'm really starting to water on the inner corner and outer corner. So we're just gonna use our hair to hide some of that. I did go in with the Maybelline Snapscara. This is like my favorite drugstore formula, but it's not waterproof, so that's bound to happen if you have allergies like I do. I also went in with the Believe Beauty Caviar Long Lasting Eyeliner. This is a mechanical eyeliner from Dollar General from Believe Believe Beauty, and it is one of the best formulas on the market. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. For some reason, I can never get my eyeshadow or eyeliner all the way up into that little tiny fold between the lashes and kind of your lower lash line. If you guys have any tips for that, please let me know down below, because I seriously struggle with that. I also went in and did the lip. I used the LA Girl liner in Sugar and Spice, and then Believe Beauty Satin Crush lipstick in Vintage Romance. Again, one of the best formulas from Dollar General, Believe Beauty. I absolutely love these. They're really nice and hydrating. I think that the warmer tone of the lip really helps offset the cool tone of the eyeshadow and makes it a little more comfortable and a little more wearable, at least for me. So that is it for this one, you guys. Totally affordable, and it just goes to show that you can really get a banging look at a drugstore price. So let me know if you guys have any questions, as always, down below. Otherwise, if you're interested in seeing any more videos from me, please subscribe. I'll also leave my Instagram down there if you are interested in following me on there. I hope you guys have a great day, and thank you again for watching. Bye-bye.